you can imagine that I go to my dad and say that, Dad, I wanted to do R&D software. My dad was like, huh? Really, son? Are you fewer or not? Let's stick to the hardware and just selling product.
Nice to meet you, and first of all, congratulations on being one of the recipients of the Vistage Leadership Award.
Thank you so much. We are very honored and we are very proud too.
All right, so if I can begin by diving into your journey in the business. It started, I think, about 20 years ago. You joined this family business. Can you talk to us? Was that something that you always wanted to do, or was that the only option at that time?
Not really. My dad didn't force me to come back to take over the family business. I was in Silicon Valley, right? And when I come back, to be frank, the technology gap between US and Malaysia is quite big. And that's where I'm so inspired to see the big opportunity that from the expertise that I learned from Silicon Valley, how we can bring it to Malaysia. Yeah, so that is what the biggest motivation that inspired me to come back to help my dad in this business.
So within the 20 years since then, what has changed with MAG? How has it evolved?
It has evolved a great deal. Yeah, you imagine at that time when I come back, MAG is still a really very small Chinaman style company. You can imagine that I go to my dad and say that, Dad, I wanted to do R&D software. My dad was like, huh? Really, son? Are you fewer or not? Let's stick to the hardware and just selling products. Don't do all the trouble. And now we have our R&D team. Over the 20 years, we have our own software and our own mobile apps are coming up. We have a tech team and we have a global footprint all over the Southeast Asia. So that's how big we have evolved and changed for the past 20 years.
So you described the company as a typical Chinaman company, and you saw the need for change to happen. So what changes did you implement when you took over the business?
Firstly, you can imagine at that time, during my that time, we are still writing on paper cash sales. You imagine that? That is like a Chinaman hardware shop. Yeah. So from there, I implemented accounting system, and up to now we are totally on the ERP. We are using Oracle NetSuite. So a lot of structures have changed, a lot of architecture have changed, and the staff strength is also changed a lot. Yeah, so from a Chinaman style to a corporate run by professional managers. So that is the changes.
How big is your team now?
Now we are running at a staff strength of 70.
Okay, oh, great. Now, I'm sure, when you first joined, there are probably many detractors know the perception that the son of the boss coming over to shake things up. So can you talk about that? And how do you handle criticism and people who doubt your ability?
Right. I am actually very blessed. I'm very blessed. Despite that kind of perception usually cast on me, actually I do not have that issue. I do not have that. When I first came into the company, I think the position I went into is sales. So I go out, I get the sales, right? I was running all over Malaysia and the revenue has been rising rapidly. Since I am the one holding the revenue, people, the older generation people kind of like, they won't talk so much.
So you've proven yourself in some ways with the numbers and figures.
In the way I proven myself. Yeah. So that definitely make my transformation much easier to be accepted by especially the older generation in the company.
Okay. When you implement changes, I'm sure there would be resistance, pushback, even from staff and all that. How do you handle that and get people's buy-in and to trust in your vision?
I am a very clarity and accurate person, a techie from Silicon Valley, right? So everything has to be crystal clear to me. So I think that kind of my personality attitude helps a lot. I stated the vision statement clearly. I stated the mission statement clearly. I stated all the direction, the SOP clearly. So the staff, they can see that. They can see that, if I continue to work, if the company continue to be like that, it will not go so high. But I can see that the boss son coming in, bringing all this clarity and helping us to see where we could go in the next 20 years. Yeah, I think they can see that and they trusted me, and that's how the transformation is more smooth to get the buy-in from the people.
In your 20-year journey so far, what are some of the biggest challenges you have faced running the business?
It is always people.
Okay.
I think I'm very in line with Vistage, Phil Collins, first who, then what. Yeah, it's always the who. The biggest challenge is always the who. Finding the right people and also grooming the right people to perform the way that we want it. Yeah.
So how do you make sure you have the right people in the right places?
Yeah, the bus, right? Like Phil Collins said, put the right people in the right bus. It is a big challenge. It took me almost 5 to 6 years just to build the core team that I have right now. So there's no shortcut. We try our best to interview, we try our best to train, but not the right people, then we have to let it go. Right? It's a try and error for us.
Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about what's next. MAG is now one of the leading players in security and automation systems.
Right.
Where do you see MAG in the next level, in the next stage of growth? Where do you hope to bring it?
Yeah, I am definitely already bringing it to global.
Okay.
Right, and we are also moving towards AI, digitalization, clouds, right, which is totally something that is not imaginable in the past 20 years when I started, right? Yeah, our R&D team is growing. We have all this AI thing coming in, all the big data coming in, enhancing our software and enhancing our products. So we wanted to be a global contender, representing Malaysia from a security industry.
Okay, but you're going up against global companies which have much larger workforce and much deeper pockets. So how do you plan to make yourself a Malaysian champion on the global stage?
Right, I think like our competitor is all public listed company. They are many times bigger than us, right? But I have a very strong belief, the David and Goliath story, right? Okay. I have a strong belief that with the right technology, with the right insight, with the right direction, yes, we will find our niche to beat all these big boys out there.
So you've talked about investing in a lot in AI and technology. Could you illustrate to us, like maybe pick a product or something that what's the big innovation that you're excited about in your industry?
Currently, we are trying to digitize, right, the experience of engaging with a building.
Okay.
Right.
How does that work?
Okay. For example, typically you see right now, to bring it closer, in the condominiums, right, if you want to invite a visitor to come, right, last time you used a call, the phone, and then when they come, the guard will write it on the logbook. But now we want to digitize it. Everything is on a mobile. Right, you can invite your visitor from the mobiles and they will get the message from the WhatsApp, they came. The whole experience of coming in, going to the building, everything is digitized. Yeah.
Okay.
So that is something that we are very exciting to bring it in Malaysia and to bring it to the global level.
Stage. Okay. Now you mentioned, this is like David and Goliath because you're still a relatively small company on a global scale.
Right.
How do you push yourself, towards that goal when other people might say like, he's crazy, he wants to do that. That's impossible.
Right. That I think to do this, Vistage helped me a lot.
Okay.
A lot of time, like the Vistage, concept, the boss is lonely. Yeah, I'm very aligned with that. Sometimes we have these big ideas, right? We need a team of CEO that is non-biased, right? Totally from different industry to really give us a slap. And I'm very blessed that my chair will not hesitate to slap me. He will give me the ultimate truth of what the thing is, that make me wake up. Yeah, that is where I found my foundation and also found my strength and courage to challenge what is out there.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know that my team will always be behind me. Whenever I'm in trouble, I'm in a deep issue, I know that I can always count on my team in Vistage member to back me up.
Okay. When did you join Vistage? Do you remember? At what point at that time did you feel like, okay, I needed something outside of my sphere of knowledge, of influence to help me to get to my next level?
Right. It started when we reached our all-high revenue, right? At that point, I think something wrong, you know. When I went to Tropicana clubs, I see all these big bosses. How come on Monday morning they can be there playing golf and I have to work? It doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
I can't imagine myself to grow even further, you know, by doing what I'm doing. That's where I have a calling. I need to get a perspective. I think something is wrong somewhere, and somehow the universe sent me a context. Vistage having this seminar and things like that. I just joined. Yeah, I'm very aligned. So I think I found the answer. Yeah, I think I can get the perspective from the Vistage.
All right. Besides perspective or outside advice that you're getting from your members, how does it enhance you even personally as a person, joining Vistage and being exposed to that group of people and the group of other leaders?
Right. Personally, originally my personal mantra is earn more, work less. Right. I earn more, and then I have more cash flow. I can hire more HOD, managers, CFO, CEO, and all these people to run for me, right? Yeah. But when I joined Vistage, I got slapped. Dato Indra told me, you got it all wrong. It's the terbalik. It's the other way around. Start working less, then you can earn more.
Have you found that to be true for you?
That has, after we changed that has been my personal mantra in everything that I do. Right? First, get the right people. They will do the job right for you. Then that's where the growth will happen. Instead of last time, I do the job. I'm the most hardworking one, right? Yeah. So that is the big paradigm change that impact me on a personal level that I get from Vistage.
Okay. I know you're fairly young still, but have you thought about, how do you want to prepare the company for the next level of growth? While at the same time, like you say, you can't be in the business 15, 18 hours a day. That's impossible, right? So have you thought about, not succession planning per se, but, evolving the company, evolving and getting the right people to bring you to the next level?
Right. Succession planning is already in place 3 years ago.
Okay.
Right, 3 years ago, also inspired by the Vistage group. We are now having the old HOD to be able to run the business by itself.
Okay.
Right, without me. But then I am a very ambitious person. I'm not just looking for the business to be able to run by itself, but I want to automate growth. Not just merely automate the business, but I want to automate growth. Meaning that my core team can actually grow the business to the next level without me. So that is the next direction that I'm moving forward.
All right, wonderful. Okay, so last few questions from me. So for this show, this year, we have a tradition where we ask the person that came on the show before you to propose a question.
I hope it's not a hard one.
So your question is actually from Mr. Lim Yi Young. He's the Group Managing Director of Yili Group.
Okay.
His question to you is, given a chance to do things all over again, would you still do the same thing or would you go on a different path?
I would go on the same path, but I would join Vistage earlier. I think I would still do the same path, but whatever the realization, of this empowerment, delegation, I think I would do it earlier.
Okay.
To speed up the thing.
All right. What would you have changed though?
What would I have changed? That is a good question. I think I might not change so much. Yeah, just to bring it a bit forward, the realization to do all this transformation. Yeah.
All right.
Just to bring it forward.
All right. Speed things up a bit earlier on.
Right.
Okay.
And don't get so stuck up with myself.
That's a good one. All right. So lastly, Jimmy, what's that one question that you would like to ask the next Vistage CEO or leader that comes on the show?
Okay. The next question that I would like to ask is, how do you define success?
Okay, that's a good question. Now, I also have to take this opportunity to ask you, how would you define success?
I do not define success on the money level. I do not define success on how big the revenue the company grow. I also do not define success on how many zero in my bank account, but I define success on the growth of people around me. That is more important to me. Right? Firstly is my family. I want to see them grow. Right? my daughter and my son is in my company doing management training.
Okay.
I am thrilled that my HOD trained them, not me. I'm thrilled to see them blossom. Second is I want to see my staff grow. I want them to have a good life. The company should be a platform for good life. It should not be a platform of burnout and stress. Yeah. And being empowered my staff, I want all our partners to grow. Our dealers, our SI, I want them to grow. So we want to be a platform of growth. To me, security products, software, AI, it is just a tools. We do not live our life with tools, right? The company is the platform with these tools to help you to grow.
All right, okay.
So that's how I define success.
Wonderful, and I'll pass on your question. How do you define success to our next guest on the show?
Right.
Thank you so much, Jimmy, for your time. It's great to have you on the show, and best of luck with your ambitions with Mac.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cynthia.